Alright, everyone, Supreme Kami over here. So we have news of what we are going to be getting for next week's content. And yes, we are going to be getting, I'm just going to be showing you guys right here about why is this weird? Like, why is it grayed out? But anyways, what we are going to be getting for next week's Sokai unit is, ta-da-da, we are going to be getting the Gundam Perfect Strike Freedom over here. So this is going to be our fourth, what is it, the Battlogue suit over here. So we still have Commando Quanta, and then last but not least, we're gonna have the Barbados Taurus, which I think potentially can be released the last, to be honest. So just make things a little bit hype, or maybe even towards like the release of the actual Battlogue series. So that is gonna be a quite interesting terms of event. So this time around, we are just gonna be getting a Sokai. It's not gonna be your Super Sokais. I guess in terms of the naming Super Sokai, it's more dedicated to maybe for the anniversary only, which I completely am okay with that, because I think last year in terms of the first year anniversary, there is no distinction of like whether or not this is more of like an anniversary hub unit or anniversary type banner. So I do like the fact that they're keeping it to that only. But so in terms of these banner over here, they are only going to be dropping in terms of the 5-star. Non-level 80 is going to be base level 1 5-star, compared to, let's say, your Super Sokais. They come out at 6-star level 90 already, which saved us a lot of like capitals upgrading to that marks, which definitely is good, saving those resources. But can't really complain about that. In terms of the other unit over here, we got the Phantom Gundam. I don't really know too much about the Phantom Gundam. That's why we're gonna go over to the Gundam Wiki just in a bit. Shout out to the Gundam Wiki, or just more of like a courtesy to them over there. So in terms of the welfare unit, we got the red Quibbly over here. So this is more of like a unit 2. This is piloted by the clone of the same pilot, just like a cyber clone. So we're just gonna go over some details of that in a bit as well. So in terms of the event name, it's gonna be called the Red Quibbly over here. We literally just had this like another maybe a month or two ago. So yeah, that is that. But in terms of some other additional information over here, we don't see too much of that right now. So but I do want to take a look into like what kind of parts we can be getting in terms of the strike, the perfect strike freedom. We get the full set of the unit, and then complete parts over here. So it's gonna be getting an anti-ship laser sword. Okay, and then we are gonna be getting, oh, okay. Then we're gonna be getting the sword ISO, and then plus the Igni, the ranged weapon as well. And then we're also gonna be getting an Igni or combined it, and then another Hyper Impulse Cannon Igni as well. So you're looking at roughly around 1, 2, 3, 4 different types of melee weapon for Strike Freedom, Perfect Strike Freedom over here. I'm just gonna call it Strike Freedom for sure. So yeah, so in terms of summoning for this guy over here, it is gonna be it's gonna be quite challenging. And then in terms of some 40% trade, ideally what I want this unit to have, because we already have a head part that has a 40% trade. We have a we have yet to have a torso that has a 40% trade. So that might be something they can do. We have armor ready that was done by the what was that unit? It was what was that unit? I forgot. Hot Scramble. There you go. Hot Scramble. Armor's 40% trade, and then the leg we have that already. We have a rifle already in terms of the ranged weapon. We don't have anything in terms of for the melee weapon, in terms of for like a melee dedicated. So we don't have a shield yet. So that can be something. So right now, in terms of some option, right now we're missing a chest that has a 40% trade. In terms of, let's say, shield from this guy, I don't know. We're not getting a shield, so that is out of the question already. So maybe I want to guess, maybe this time around it's gonna be the chest. That's probably gonna be a thing, maybe. So in terms of going down a little bit over here, we can just kind of talk about the Phantom Gundam over here. So we gotta get the full set, obviously, and then we're gonna get a Butterfly Buster B sword mode, and then we're gonna get a Heat Knife, and then Flame Sword, and then Butterfly Buster Beam Rifle probably, and Gun Mode. Oh gosh, these units are packing a lot of parts, so I don't really like them when they pack all these stuff over here, like, because of chance of getting, let's say, I don't know, specifically I want a head part, for example, or arm part. Just getting that is gonna be extremely hard. So that is that. Some pilot wise, these are going to be our pilots over here. Well, we getting an Orga already, number 2. Okay. But in terms of the Phantom Gundam, I really like the effects. Like, look at that banner image right there. I absolutely like all those pink effects over here. Once we go over to the Gundam Wiki, you guys can definitely see how much of those pink effect is. I definitely like that. Just I think summoning for the Phantom Gundam is probably more of like an aesthetic for me personally. I'm not even sure. I think ideally this one can come out as a 40% trade on the melee weapon. I think that can be a big possibility. So I don't know. Like, oh, this guy also does have a transformation mode. So I think chances are they might actually drop a transformer attack for this guy, and that will probably shaft whatever this guy needs to do in terms of like a melee unit. So I think that is pretty much it in terms of going over like the notice page over here. So yesterday I did already drop a video talking about the number 97 arena in terms of the 3-on-3. So that was quite interesting thought on how they were doing it. What I don't like immediately, just looking at I just want to take some time to just kind of talk about this a little bit. Just playing for 2 days already, I already don't like it at all. Just reason being that it is really ties down to people who are going to be able to consistently summon every day or every week, for example. This week around, I actually like today. Actually, I actually have to go back in to do probably around 4 more multi summons just to get 2 more additional parts. Those two part equate probably up to I think 200 points each, and that is going to be that can satisfy to on the pro tag in terms of PST typing. So just having a summoned part for that week just greatly helps it. So I guess anyone who is not really into the competitive scene of, let's say, in the arena doesn't really concern you guys as much, because like I think mainly you guys want you guys just want to clear arena for the purpose of, like, let's say doing your daily mission. Other than that, I don't really see a point in pushing too much into like the 3-on-3, except maybe the week you guys really do something for like the Sokai unit you guys really like. Because those off banner in terms of, let's say, the Gundam X model, they count as well, and then the narrative Gundam does count as well, but they are more of like a lesser bonus or whatsoever. They're just more of like a 50%. I mean, it's better than nothing, but I think they're just going to be a huge discrepancy. And then number 2, what I don't like is that they're capping out damage dealing. So if I am able to drop, let's say I'm using Axel for example, right? Let's say I'm able to drop a 10 million damage Axel on 3 of my enemy, I'm probably just going to be getting the same damage wise in terms of, like, let's say a person or player who's going to be dealing 1 million damage all across the board. I feel like them capping down, like capping in terms of damage, is a huge mistake right there. So that's for one thing. I don't know if you guys agree with me on that part. And then I think in terms of people who are going to be able to think of good strategy, just being able to play extremely well in terms of like how they do, I think that doesn't really matter at all, because you guys who like those people who has a strategy would definitely get overshadowed by people who just blindly summon. Let's say me personally, I blindly summon a banners every week. They would just get overshadowed by me and other players who just summon on the weekly and get those event part and don't really have to too much concerned about getting like the highest timer count. I think currently what the setup is all about is more like, alright, getting the highest timer. I think that is pretty much how you get into the top rankings and all that. Damage wise, I urge them to take away the damage cap. That is completely unacceptable. Just for me personally, I feel like if I'm able to do how much more damage I can do, there should just not be any cap, because in terms of extra drop, is not one of your beam type, let's say EX skill, where like my overkill bonus should not even stop at all. Like whatever the 10 million damage, they should give me a ratio back at, like, alright, I did 10 million damage to this enemy, they should give me a ratio back at compared to the health, and then do whatever math they're doing. But for the pros, I gotta give them that they are making it extremely like easy to kind of read what's going on, breaking up into like 3 different categories. That is nice, so I'll give them that for sure. And then some minor overhaul of like just how it looks. It definitely does look refreshing, just looking at that new arena page and all that. But other than that, I feel like Cons definitely has more like, I definitely has more cons to say about the pros and all that, you know. And oh, I can't forget to mention you can play that multiple times. That is probably the best thing they have done, you know, just allowing us to like come with like different strategies and all that. So all right, so without further ado, let me actually hop into the Gundam wiki and just kind of talk about some of the other units over here. So let's say, all right, so we are in the Gundam wiki right now. So we're looking at the Phantom Gundam itself over here. So let me actually show you guys what it looks like in terms of what they say the Phantom light over here. Look at all those smokes, all those like smoky purple or no pink effects right there. That looks cool. I think actually when this is gonna be in game, it is gonna be looking extremely well. So here's just gonna be a little bit detailed. So the Phantom Gundam was the second 1000 custom unit to be developed by the Jupiter Federation or Foundation. Is incorporated Minovsky drive system or technology or drive system that originally meant for solo purpose of traveling between Earth and Jupiter. However, it has been given combat capability as a 1000 custom unit. Its unit's power is supposed to be equivalent to an army of 1000 mobiles. Okay. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah, these types of unit, I'm pretty sure you guys can take down like all those grunt unit, no problem. So the Minovsky drive technology is based off the F99 record breaker. I don't even know what the unit is. I don't really know because this unit itself is coming off of the Mobusu Crossbone Go. So this is more of like a manga type of thing. They also did mention it's going to be a transformable unit. So we might potentially see a transformable type for this guy. I do suspect this one is going to be, oh, they even call it a prototype transformable assault Mobusu. So this is, I want to say this is more of like an outfighter type, like it's gonna be geared towards like an outfighter transformable unit. So not gonna be the best in terms of like building out like a, let's say, a pretty good melee unit itself. But these are just all the weapons that we're talking about. The flame sword, your butterfly buster B. Is this actually called B? Okay. We got some biocomputer phantom light that can be like a EX skill, you know. That is like, they say, equivalent to like a wing of lights, you know, and all that good stuff over here. And Mirage Bird, okay. So these are types of, let's say, you know, in terms of like awakening types of effects that can definitely add into, let's say, into your custom EX skill, or just have like a standalone awakening skill for that. I do hope that they kind of incorporate it into, let's say, just EX skill based. I don't really want to have like awakening that can just take up some slot of the portrait, you know. So here are just gonna some of the image over here. So this unit itself does not actually have a model kit yet. I think it's actually releasing it as like, oh, besides that, this actually came out in terms of like a more of like a filler arc of the what series is from? This is probably from the Re-Rise. It's more of like a cameo. So you have this right there. You get the Jupiter Gundam over here. I guess it makes sense then. Yeah, kind of makes sense. Yeah, so that is that. So moving on to, in terms of the perfect strike freedom over here. So this is gonna be how it should look like in the game and all that good stuff over here. You got the sword. So these two can combine, right? So these are basically the armament. It's gonna be these two specifically, but how they are like actually combining, you're gonna have the sword form itself over here. That so at first they're gonna come out as individual part you can summon for this one and this one. Then they're gonna come out as this one you can summon up for, like, this is more like a buster sword type thing. So this one I do suspect it's gonna be coming out in the form of like a sword, like the sword icon. So in terms of this one, maybe this one is gonna be a sword icon as well. So maybe both of them then. And then yep, just more of the sword form right there. And then where's the actual gun? All right. So this is gonna be more of like a buster rifle kind of thing, or buster cannon, if you will. So you have another image right there, just coupled it together. So they're just basically adding two times 2s right there. I don't know, like, I don't really like them releasing too many weapons. It's gonna be hard to summon on. That is all I have to say right there. And then hopefully it's not gonna be like an arm plus an integrated shield. That is the last thing I will hope for this guy over here. So I think that is pretty much it. And then in terms of the other palette, in terms of our welfare unit, this is the actual palette. We have this version already. They're literally clones. This does have like a darker shade, so you can tell this is more of like an evil type in terms of how you wanna portray it in like an enemy. So this is gonna be a cyber new type clone over here. that specifically pilot the equivalent Mark II Unit 2. So that is that. So that being said, that should be pretty much it in terms of what we have for next week. I am pretty excited to see how the Phantom Gundam is gonna look in game in terms of like all those effects over here. In terms of the Perfect Strike Korea, man, I expect that unit to come out with some ridiculously stacked for like a shooting base unit specifically. I do hope that they don't go up and split up into like a dual type build, because you guys can see that this Perfect Strike over here does actually have every armament to make itself into like a melee type unit as well. So I hope that does not go that direction. I just hope that this is gonna stay true to like a shooting base type unit. And yeah, so that being said, that should be pretty much it. And then I'll catch you guys all on the next one.